What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I have another very interesting Palantir update to bring all of you this evening. We're going to go over the chart heading into earnings next week. We have a new contract that we have to break down, and in addition, there's something that we have to talk about that's going to come up in this next earnings call that is incredibly important that nobody is talking about right now. So make sure that you guys stick around. We have a lot of important info to cover. So guys, as always, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. It helps out a whole lot spreading out this information to as many people who do want to learn about these companies. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you're never missing one of these videos again. But without further ado, guys, let's roll the intro and get right into it. Now, guys, before we break down everything that you need to know about this stock going into the end of this week and next earnings, remember, Trade1348.com is still offering that 1 month free trial for you guys, but it isn't going to last forever. Remember, you get all of those predictive algorithms, all of the AI algorithms, the alerts, the absolute best education that you could possibly ask for if you are somebody that wants to take advantage of everything that the market has to offer in terms of short-term trading. We've talked about that interview that I've released a few times. We have some unbelievably successful members, one of them turning $8,000 into $1 million, and we have another 19-year-old kid that in the interview at the time that I recorded it, he had made about $100,000 with the education that we have provided in about 13 trading days. I did get another update a little later on that he was up over $300,000. It's absolutely amazing. Again, if you do want that free trial, make sure you guys check out that link down below and use code GAINZ, GAINZ. Now, again, some of these tools that are on that platform are helping me give you this type of analysis on Palantir. We called this bounce right around here when we broke these highs. And again, when we came up into here, this is right around where I was saying that we were in for a pullback. And as somebody with an audience, it wouldn't have been responsible for me to come out and say that obviously this thing is going to keep going to the upside heading into earnings when the stock has been up. Let's actually take a look here since the last earnings, including last earnings, actually, even at the current time, about 138%. Again, guys, dollar cost averaging over the long term is going to be your friend if this is a stock that you like over the long term. But remember, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. I'm just here to give you more information in a easier to understand way that you would have been able to receive otherwise. So what are we actually looking at with this chart right now? Well, we are still in that little pullback period and waiting to see where this stock wants to go next. Now, what is going to be the catalyst for that direction? Well, earnings. We did just receive that credit downgrade from Fitch this week that is kind of adding fuel to the fire to this down move. And when we take a look at the stock on the 4-hour time frame, it's just kind of hovering at this 24 EMA here, just kind of flatlined after this aggressive move down. Now, you might notice that some of these other high growth stocks in the market are down a lot more than what Palantir is. Well, it's holding. You are seeing a lot of strength here at these levels. It is holding these levels, which in my opinion is a very good thing to see, especially leading up into earnings and what's happened over this last week. So guys, remember, I've said this many times before, the reasons and the catalyst for this stock actually going to those numbers that you guys want to see this stock at is going to be consistent, really good earnings coming out quarter over quarter and year over year. This stock, in my opinion, has a lot of potential over the long term, but they do need to deliver on these earnings events. Now, let's get into a couple of the things that have been happening with Palantir over this last week. And a little later, make sure you guys stick until the end because we're going to talk about something that nobody's really talking about right now that I think a lot of you guys are going to find incredibly interesting. So the first thing here is Palantir was selected by the Department of Defense to automate spectrum coordination workflows. It announced that it was selected here to support the coordination between federal and commercial licenses of 3450 to 3550 MHz spectrum band. Palantir will provide its software platform to enable end-to-end automation that will enhance coordination with the Department of Defense and commercial spectrum licenses for shared use of this range here with cooperative planning area and periodic use area coordination zone boundaries. Now, again, this might sound a little confusing. Essentially, what they're talking about here is 5G, and you guys can see that down in here. Palantir software will be used to integrate multiple existing functions and capabilities into a single infrastructure that will result in more efficient workflows, reducing the timelines for licensee coordination with the DoD, Department of Defense, to establish sharing agreements and enable deployment of 5G wireless services within CPA PUA boundaries. Now, you guys might think, well, yeah, we've heard about this this new contract here, why are you going over this? There's a very important reason why I'm going over these new contracts with you guys. And the reason is when you look through these new contracts, you have to look at what the purposes of them are for. Palantir, their software is applicable to so many different companies in niches out there in the market right now. 5G, healthcare, government defense. There is a total addressable market for this company that is massive. So that is what we're going over this for, to say, okay, now 5G we're talking about. And the next thing that we're actually going to talk about a little bit too is healthcare, which Palantir has had a history with. Remember, during the pandemic, we saw those NHS deals. We saw the deals with the United States Army. We saw a lot of different deals in Palantir getting into these different segments. We're seeing it now with their new commercial clients that they're diversifying into, which institutional investors are absolutely loving. Now, when we come over here, this is what people aren't necessarily talking about, which I find incredibly interesting. Pltr Stock new AI platform. In healthcare, Palantir customers possibly could use generative AI in applications such as drug discovery. When releasing its first quarter earnings, Palantir announced its newest offering it calls the Artificial Intelligence Platform. It will begin rolling out to select customers in May 2023. The depth of engagement with and demand for our new Artificial Intelligence Platform AIP is without precedent, the CEO Alex Karp said in a letter to shareholders. We are currently mobilizing our company and sales teams in order to convert this organic and inbound interest into expansion of our reach within the market. In a recent note to clients, Bank of America said the goal of AIP is to blend the machine learning technologies of existing Palantir technologies with large language models, LLMs, which is ChatGPT, Bard, a lot of those other different models that you've heard talked about a lot this year, coexisting in current Palantir platforms, helping businesses and governments make more data-driven decisions and further optimize processes. This is probably one of the most important parts here. We do not believe the market fully grasps Booz Allen's leadership in position for AI and machine learning software development, he said in a recent note to clients, meaning that there is a gap between what the market understands and what the reality actually is of how awesome this potential new platform is going to be for Palantir's not only existing customer base, but the potential customers that could be coming on through the pipeline in the future. This is definitely going to be talked about in their earnings report next week and is absolutely something that you need to look for. The last kind of thing that I want to talk about with you guys here, and we'll probably make another video about this and we'll make another video breaking down their earnings, is expectations going into Palantir's earnings. Remember, like we said before, the stock is up about 138% since their last earnings report at the current standing right now. In order to kind of maintain these valuations or continuing higher, Palantir needs to do something to not necessarily shock the market, but to really go above and beyond their current expectations, whether that's with their actual financial numbers, their financials that they release, new products, new clients, diversification of their clients, going more with commercial clients and seeing that diversification. Maybe it's a greater decrease in stock-based compensation, which can then end up making them be more profitable, which then goes back into financials. But there's a wide variety of things that Palantir can do in order to kind of beat the market's expectations. Now, is this going to be the end-all be-all earnings event right here? No, it's not. Palantir is going to report their next earnings. They're going to report their full year earnings. There's going to be a lot of different catalysts for this company in terms of earnings over the next year and a half here. And I think that's where Palantir has the potential to really thrive. Remember, a year and a half ago, people didn't really understand this company. Now they're starting to get it, and if they can continue on this path, beating earnings and releasing new products, diversifying their clients, and continuing to lower that stock-based compensation, which in turn is going to enable them to be more profitable, I think this company can and has the potential to have a lot of success, but it's all going to come down to how they're able to perform on their earnings. So again, heading in there with cautious optimism, I think is going to be the best bet. But again, if you guys want to YOLO your entire accounts, it's your money. You can do whatever you like. Is it the smart thing to do? Well, if you have to ask that question, you probably know the answer. So team, that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you did enjoy, remember, click that like button down below. Helps out a whole lot getting these videos out to some more people here. And make sure you guys subscribe to see some more videos like this. But other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.